Good morning, everybody. So, as I was lying in bed this morning, my guide Lazarus came through and he wanted me to discuss um, the narrative of ego death today. He was explaining to me that, and I even see this with some of my clients, that you have to kill the ego, you have to kill the patterns, and using that type of vocabulary or that type of narrative um, actually doesn't do anything. It actually instills more fear, right? So, sorry, getting comfortable here. It actually instills more fear, especially to the ego, right? So it's going to put up its protective barriers and everything. So let's discuss what the ego does for us. Our ego is there to protect us. Now, since we were born, we've had a lot of things. Some of us have soul contracts for certain situations. A lot of us have projections and feelings that we take on from family members, authoritarian figures, teachers, our peers, other family members, and so on and so forth. What happens is it starts to write what I call the narrative or story, or, starts to kind of come alive and is like, well, if they're saying that, then it must be. And so we create patterns, we create thought patterns, we create limiting beliefs, we create behavioral patterns that tries to protect us. So the ego is not all bad, guys. The ego is there to protect us. It's almost like those that shadow aspect of ourselves that needs to be reparented, remothered, rewired, really. So when I hear ego death, like you got to kill the ego off, I always tell my clients, or I always tell people who say that, you gotta direct the narrative in a different way. We're here to learn, accept all parts of ourselves, right? Ego included. Now, a lot of people might have issue with that, but that's the way it is, right? That's what I teach my clients. So in order to be a spiritual person, and I'm not going to say in order to be a spiritual person, that's wrong. In order to move forward on your journey to your soul, what you really need to do is just balance out the ego and the soul passion, the fulfillment, the wanting. The only way to really do that, in my opinion, is to heal those aspects of ourselves that put us on fight or flight or high alert, where the ego steps in and is like, absolutely not. No. Nope, that's hot. You do not go in there. That is not safe right there, and really takes control of your system. Because when we have those thoughts, it really does override our soul purpose or our soul mission, right? That fear narrative, that worry narrative, that lack narrative, that's all in the collective. So if we can learn to just work with that, reparent that, let the ego know it's okay. The more in alignment your ego gets to what you want your passion to be, or what your passion is, or what fulfills you, the more you're going to be able to move forward with that ease. And the more the ego's like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can do this. This is pretty good. And so the message from today for the collective is let go of your fears. Let go of thinking that you have to have an ego death, or you have to, kill parts of your ego off. That is not true. You just need to come into alignment with it and let it know that it's okay to move forward. This is where we're heading, and this is where I want to be, and that's okay. And it's scary, and it makes you fearful, and you don't know what's going to happen, and it can be overwhelming, but we can manage these emotions. We don't have to put a block up for ourselves. We can do this. Now, the other thing that they're telling me right now is ego death could also mean parts of ourselves that are starting to become in alignment. with where we want to go on our journey. So he's saying there's two different meanings to that. And that's okay too. We go through this tower moment. We go through constant death and rebirth cycles. So it's all in the narrative of what you think it is. And don't think of it as a fear narrative. Don't think of it as something that has to be bad. Think of it as something that can be beautiful, transforming, inspiring, nurturing, rebalancing yourself to truly who you are, truly who you're supposed to be, truly who you are, what you came to do to fulfill the mission, your life purpose mission in this lifetime. And so, take it all in and just know that even though it sucks and it hurts, you're going through this absolutely beautiful process. And it's full of beginnings and it's full of endings and it's all cyclical. But don't ever think that you're killing a part of yourself. You're not actually killing a part of yourself. You're just becoming more in alignment with your life purpose mission in this lifetime or on this planet, whichever you believe. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to transform and be the best version of ourselves, to be in alignment with our soul self. So pop any comments down what you think. If you guys have any questions about how do you manage anything, I do sessions where I do shadow work, where it's accepting all parts of ourselves back into alignment, back into self, back into wholeness, back into love. And just, message the page, or you can find me on Renee Atkins on Facebook or my Etsy shop, Elemental Reiki. I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And I look forward to posting something else tomorrow. Bye, guys.